Beyonce thing came when a friend of mine who knew her, somebody in her camp, and she said something supposedly, this is all hearsay, about regarding saying Rymir needs to go away little boy, something to that effect. There was something out there. But people were saying that she's a big part of the problem for him, and some of the things that she was doing, a woman would not, she would have some sort of role in what her husband does. And if she was secure with herself and with the situation, not saying you gotta like it, she would help her husband handle it.
What if the glitziest power couple on the planet has been hiding a secret so explosive it could crack their billion-dollar throne wide open? For more than a decade, whispers of a hidden firstborn have shadowed Shawn Jay-Z Carter, but now those whispers are thundering into a courtroom. A judge has finally ordered the hip-hop mogul to surrender his DNA, and the countdown to the truth has begun. Behind the velvet curtains, Beyoncé, queen of flawless branding, allegedly scrambles to keep the royal image intact. Yet every second the needle ticks, tension climbs, and the empire's glossy facade threatens to peel away. Rymir Satterthwaite, now in his early 30s, has fought for most of his life to prove one simple point: that his biological father is Jay-Z. For years he filed motions, hired lawyers, and stared down rejection after rejection. Each time the papers hit Jay-Z's desk, the rap icon's legal team maneuvered to slow or outright quash the process, all while headlines fizzled out and the spotlight moved on. But 2025 has no patience for stale deflection. A Philadelphia judge recently ruled that Jay-Z must provide a DNA sample, setting an unyielding deadline. Failed to comply, and the court could issue sanctions that even Roc Nation's powerhouse attorneys can't finesse away. The Rymir calls it the first real chance at closure. For Jay-Z, it's the first real risk of irrefutable proof. But this fight isn't about money, Rymir insists. He works 2 jobs, pays his own bills, and says that no payday can replace the identity he's chased since childhood. That single-minded quest, "Who am I?" is what resonates online, transforming a private paternity case into a public morality play. Why would a world-famous billionaire duck a cheek swab that could settle everything in 10 minutes? Insiders point to one towering figure, Beyoncé Knowles Carter. According to multiple sources close to both camps, the singer quietly urged her husband to sidestep any tests that might confirm an outside child. The logic? Brand integrity. Beyoncé's global image arms every business venture she touches, from Ivy Park to her record-breaking Renaissance tour. A confirmed secret son could bulldoze that pristine narrative, dragging decades-old controversies back into the limelight. The elevator incident with Solange, the Becky with the good hair affair rumors, even Jay-Z's admitted infidelities. One source claims Beyoncé flat-out said, "A single test could cost us more than any lawsuit." And it's not blind jealousy. For Beyoncé, perception equals currency. Advertisers, fashion houses, and streaming giants pony up millions for a taste of her untarnished allure. A verified love child, no matter how ancient the fling, muddies the waters she spent her life purifying. Yet Beyoncé's alleged fear stretches past brand optics. Buried in Rymir's filings is a disturbing timeline. His mother, Wanda, was just 16 when she and a 20-something Shawn Carter supposedly crossed paths in the mid-1990s. True, the age gap adds an ominous layer of potential illegality. The music world is still reeling from recent lawsuits that toppled Diddy's empire and triggered federal raids on industry heavyweights. Anything hinting at misconduct with a minor is nuclear in 2025. Jay-Z hasn't been charged, and Wanda is no longer alive to testify, but the implication alone could scorch reputations. Sources say Beyoncé feared that if the underage detail ever trended, sponsors would scatter before the first court date. Rymir's guardian, Lily Coley, claims the Carter camp didn't just stall, they schemed. She accuses opposing counsel of leveraging technical mistakes to get earlier suits tossed, then working behind closed doors to pave the road with legal quicksand. Court records show a bizarre pattern of missing documents, abruptly reassigned judges, and deadlines that disappeared from dockets overnight. Lily even filed complaints against their own attorneys, alleging conflicts of interest tied to powerful entertainment firms. Whether those accusations hold up remains to be seen, but the optics are ugly. An everyday guy up against a billion-dollar juggernaut, asking only for a cotton swab and equal treatment. Before her untimely passing, Wanda drafted a sworn affidavit naming Jay-Z as Rymir's father beyond any doubt. In it, she details an encounter at a music industry gathering, the brief romance that followed, and her failed attempts to reach him once she learned she was pregnant. She even describes using protection that didn't hold. The document isn't bulletproof in court. Affidavits can't replace DNA, but it underscores a consistent story. Besides, Wanda had nothing to gain. She died without fortune or fame, leaving Rymir a legacy of questions and a single request: find the truth no matter how long it takes. Jay-Z has never issued a formal denial outside court filings, but fans point to the track Heard About Us, where he spits Billie Jean in his prom for the 1000th time, the kid ain't mine. Concerts, he's been known to smirk after the line, as if mocking the rumor mill. Critics argue that flipping serious allegations into punchlines keeps him in the driver's seat. He controls the narrative while avoiding courtroom cross-examination. Yet those bars also immortalize the controversy. Every stream reminds listeners that there is a rumor worth rhyming about. Rymir calls the lyric a jab at a son he won't acknowledge. Beyoncé co-signs on the track, harmonizing over the hook, an audible show of unity that ironically underscores the rift. Now, with the DNA clock ticking, every enterprise in the Carter portfolio braces for fallout. Roc Nation sports agents worry that scandal could spook potential clients. Armand de Brignac champagne distributors dread tabloid headlines splashing across luxury lounges. Even Beyoncé's upcoming cosmetics drop with Estee Lauder is rumored to have added crisis PR contingencies to the contract. One brand strategist notes, if that test comes back positive, stock prices could wobble the same afternoon. These days, narrative shifts faster than the market can blink. Meanwhile, social media has erupted. On TikTok, hashtag JayZDNA Challenge racks up billions of views, with users jokingly mailing cotton swabs to Roc Nation's Manhattan office. Twitch streamers host live countdowns to the court-imposed deadline, turning legal drama into spectator sport. Carters, usually maestros of public conversation, have fallen silent, fueling speculation that the result might already be known behind palace walls. Lost in the frenzy is the broader picture of who these people are beyond the scandal. Jay-Z isn't just a rap legend. He's a venture capitalist who seeded early investments in Uber, Square, and Impossible Foods. He founded the Reform Alliance with Meek Mill to overhaul probation laws and funded multiple criminal justice initiatives. Beyoncé, for her part, poured millions into HBCU scholarships, launched the Baygood Foundation's disaster relief drives, and championed Black-owned businesses throughout the COVID era. Together, they've raised over $15 million for hurricane victims and quietly pay tuition for dozens of students each year. Those facts don't vanish if the test swings positive, but they complicate the public's verdict. Can good deeds outweigh a decades-long omission? Can philanthropy mask personal failings? The answers depend on whose moral scale you're using. Long before Rymir's name threatened to embroil the Carter household, Beyoncé had already learned how quickly a whisper can swell into a headline. Take her 2013 inauguration performance, for instance. One moment she's belting the Star-Spangled Banner in front of the world. The next, reporters are suggesting the vocals came from a pre-recorded track. She tried to laugh it off, singing in a cappella reprise at a press conference, but the lip-sync label still resurfaces whenever pundits debate authenticity on the world's biggest stages. Creative ownership has also dogged her meteoric rise. Independent choreographers and visual artists have sporadically claimed that Beyoncé, or someone on her detail-oriented team, borrowed their concepts without credit. Most of those disputes fizzled out before ever reaching trial, yet each allegation feeds an online cottage industry that scours her videos frame by frame for proof of creative appropriation, keeping the narrative alive long after the hashtags fade. Then there's Ivy Park, Beyoncé's athleisure brainchild. In 2020, an investigative report alleged that some overseas factories producing the line paid workers only a few dollars a day. Her representatives firmly denied any wrongdoing, and no labor violations were proven, but critics of celebrity fashion brands still cite the article as Exhibit A whenever conversations turn to sweatshop economics. At this point, the Carter's silence speaks louder than any lyric. The DNA proves Rymir right, Jay-Z's carefully sculpted redemption arc.
But people were saying that she's a big part of the problem for him, and some of the things that she was doing, a woman would not, she would have some sort of role in what her husband does. And if she was secure with herself and with the situation, not saying you gotta like it, she would help her husband handle it.
From Brooklyn hustler to Grammy-deified mogul, takes a seismic hit. Beyoncé's meticulously polished image as the ultimate modern matriarch teeters on scandal she never birthed yet is rumored to control. And if the test exonerates them, critics will still question the years of stonewalling, asking why two of the world's most influential artists preferred shadows over sunlight. Either way, a reckoning looms. So as the court date barrels closer, viewers everywhere are glued to their screens, popcorn in hand, waiting for the moment the envelope opens. Because whether you're Team Rymir, Team Carter, or just an onlooker craving truth, one reality is inescapable. Secrets don't stay buried forever. They claw upward through concrete, cracking crowns and toppling thrones. And when that first fissure splinters the royalty of hip-hop, the aftershocks will ripple far beyond one family tree, right through the heart of an industry built on stories, and the people powerful enough to control which stories get told. So who's gonna be the next person in the limelight? Please like and subscribe for more of the latest celebrity news and updates. I'll see you all in the next one.